Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I review movies and television shows. Today's topic is the new film called Saturday Night. It's a dramatized retelling of how they made the very first episode of the hit television show. It follows Lorne Michaels as he runs around the NBC studio making last-minute decisions and trying to fix problems as they come. Through his eyes, we see the hectic experience behind making the pilot and the struggles they went through to get it done. Gil Kenan and Jason Reitman wrote the screenplay and Reitman directed the film. It stars Gabriel LaBelle, Corey Michael Smith, Ella Hunt, Dylan O'Brien, Matt Wood, Kim Matula, Lamorne Morris, and an ensemble of famous faces behind them. Okay, this movie was surprisingly good. I went into it thinking it would be a comedy about the making of Saturday Night Live. And instead, what I got was a fast-paced drama that's funny, moving, and energetic. Like a galloping horse with a fake mustache and a sombrero performing Shakespeare in the park. It's a whirlwind event with 1,000 moving pieces, a ton of great performances, and a soundtrack that never sleeps. Starting with the story, it moves at a breakneck pace and throws you right into the deep end. If you don't keep up, you'll be left in the dust. You meet new people every few seconds, barely learn their names, and then rush off before they can even finish telling you what they do. Through the mess, we learn about each of the original cast members and Lorne Michaels. We also see how the executives thought about the show and the conditions that led to Lorne being given a chance. The tale is filled with big emotional moments, crazy outbursts, fistfights, accidents, and a plethora of different styles of humor. There's always something going on, even if it's in the background. At times, it can feel like a collection of events, but they did a good job of tying everything together in the end. The story feels complete and quite satisfying. Cast-wise, you have a ton of mind-blowing performances. The general cast is asked to portray cast and crew members from the original show, and they do a good job of seeming natural and delivering the humor well. Then you have actors like Corey Michael Smith and Matt Woods who portray Chevy Chase and John Belushi. They're given individual storylines and a lot of bigger moments like famous sketches or big outbursts. They do a fantastic job of delivering their lines and getting a laugh, but also in replicating their character's likeness. Smith doesn't just look like a young Chevy Chase, he embodies him. His movement, his charisma, even his fatal flaw. He plays it so well that I had to check myself at different points in the movie to make sure I wasn't watching old footage from that night. Matt Woods as John Belushi is just as good. He takes Belushi's serious personality and nails it. Then he opens up during different moments and shows the talented actor underneath. The kind of guy who's willing to do anything to make his role work. The big standout of the film is Gabriel LaBelle as Lorne Michaels. He's tasked with playing a brilliant but humble man trying to keep it together while the world crashes around him. Over the course of the film, you get to see the stress slowly seeping in and taking its toll on him. Visually, the film is chaotic and exhausting. It's a period piece that follows Lorne Michaels through the NBC studio. Everyone is dressed in traditional fashion and the sets are done up to look like the original set. It moves at a breakneck pace and there's always something going on in the background. The constant movement gives you something to look at but can also be a bit distracting at times. For example, you're supposed to be looking at a conversation between two characters and you'll find you can't stop focusing on the llama being fed in the background. For standout moments, you had a ton of big outbursts from the cast like Belushi and Chase fighting, a few accidents on set like a lighting rig falling down from the ceiling, and a couple of poignant conversational moments. It's not the most impressive movie visually, and it can be quite tiring to watch, but it does have its moments. Sound-wise, the film uses jazz-styled instrumentals that ebb and flow with the story. The instrumentals are made from a few basic instruments and come in at the perfect volume. They bring a tense, somewhat whimsical feel to the movie. As the story changes mood, the music evolves with it, adding more instruments and changing the pace to match it. It fills you with emotion to match the moment while keeping time. In some ways, the soundtrack feels like the lifeblood of the film, like everything else is reliant on it. Personally, I found Saturday Night to be an amazing experience and I'll likely be going back to the theater this weekend to see it again. It reminded me a lot of watching the first episode of The Bear with its breakneck pace and complex story. I felt wrapped up in it the entire time and left wanting more. As for a rating, I'd give this film an 8 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye!